Hey guys, I hope you are having a kick-ass start to your week. As you saw in the title of this video, I said do not think of a pink giraffe. And if you are human, you're probably picturing a pink giraffe right now. So there's a reason I put that header out there, and the reason is you focus on, you imagine, and you move towards whatever it is that you feed your mind. Now, the problem is that most people are feeding their mind constantly the things that they don't want. They're talking about the things they don't want. They're gossiping about like the crap behind the scenes, about people they don't like. They're posting about the things they don't like. They're complaining. They're blaming. They're doing all of these things. And your mind works on positive feedback. It works on what you give it. So if we talk about like, oh, I don't want these bills, or I don't want to struggle in my relationships, or I don't want nightmare clients, you're focused on the shit that you don't want. So we really need to change the narrative. We need to change the story and start talking about and start thinking about the things you would like to move towards. It's one of the most powerful things we can do. I talk about this a lot when I'm doing motivational talks, when I am doing trainings on mindset. One of the most interesting things about the brain for me and the work that I do is the reticular activating system. And this is the piece of the brain that disseminates all of the incoming data that you're receiving, which by the way is a lot. We take in subconsciously about 4 billion bits of information per second. You can't even fathom that. Like, we really can't. Because, by contrast, the conscious mind is only aware of about 2,000 bits per second, which really is still quite a lot. But that always makes me ask the question, well, okay, if there's 4 billion potential bits of information, how does my conscious mind know which 2,000 of those to focus on? Which, by the way, if you go to a percentage calculator, 2,000 of 4 billion is something crazy like 0.000000001%. Like, it's insane. It is such a small percentage of the big scope. And so how does the brain know what to focus on? It's what you tell it to focus on. Your brain's really cool. It works just like a search engine. It works just like Google. If you go to Google and you look something up, it's going to give you that feedback. Like today, I've been doing a lot of research because I'm bringing in some really cool historical facts into the recession-proof business training that I'm running. And, so I'm out there and I'm looking up some feedback on businesses during the recession. It's not giving me alternative information, right? It's not showing me recipes when I'm looking that up. It's not showing me how to change like the oil in my car or what the best Apple product is now. It's showing me specifically what I searched for. That's what it brings up. That's the data it gives me. Not because it doesn't have access to all of those other things, because I told it what I wanted and it gave it to me. And it's the exact way that your brain works. So we need to change the narrative, and that comes down to your awareness. What are you focused on? What are you thinking about? Stop and ask yourself that throughout the day. What am I focused on right now? Is it serving me or is it hindering me? It's really the best way to move forward in our lives and in our businesses. So if you're looking to build your business, we don't want to have this inner dialogue of, oh, customers are so hard to find and selling's uncomfortable and marketing's tacky, or, all of these things, which we can think about when we're nervous, when we're uncomfortable, when we're pushing outside of our comfort zone. We can worry about all of these things and get stressed about them, but it's not conducive to you moving forward, to you moving ahead towards the direction you want to go, which is you having a successful business and changing lives. What's really interesting for entrepreneurs, like I've never met an entrepreneur who didn't say, well, I just want to help people. I just want to change lives. That is the calling card of an entrepreneur. Like that is in the core of what we do. However, what gets lost along the way, what gets confused is when we get into selling and marketing and money. Whoa. Like that is where we get so fucked up, because we have all of these insecurities about it. We have these negative associations around it. And this isn't your fault. This, we pick these things up from our parents. We pick them up from the news, from the media, through entertainment, through our friends, through our culture. Like we pick up all of these beliefs about what is and isn't okay or appropriate and all of that type of stuff. Like we absorb it all when we're very young. And that becomes our foundation for the way that we act in the world. And it's really important for us to make sure that we are really asking ourselves on a regular basis, is this belief serving me in the direction I want to go? Because the truth is, at the end of the day, when we really peel back the layers, when we really get to, the brass tacks of what's going on beneath the surface, you helping more people means you're going to make more money, right? Like, you're not running a charity. If you are, different story, different conversation. But if you're a business owner, you will make money to help people. So the more money you're making is reflective of how many more people you're helping. That starts to change our reflection of what's going on in our bank account versus how impactful we're being in the world. So that's one thing that we need to start to associate, is that more money is a good thing. More money, more changed lives. So it's a new association for the brain. It's really powerful. It's also important that we recognize, we always talk about energy exchange, something that's talked about in the online space. And yes, it's an energy exchange. And that's why it's really important to recognize, like, money is just a form of energy. And it's really important that you're being compensated for your time. I've seen it, and I have experienced it, earlier on, where I was just like working so hard for so little. And there's nothing worse than you getting resentful of your clients and customers because you're overworked, because you're over delivering. And I do believe still in over delivering. I think that's something that's positive, but we don't want you like 90% over delivering. We want you like 5-10% over delivering, right? Like, give more, but like, don't kill yourself. There is a balance, there's a fine line there, and you need to find it. So we need to get comfortable bringing the money in. The other thing is, when you have more wealth, you're going to spend more money. And when you spend money with other people, it has a ripple effect, right? Because when people pay you, that money just didn't disappear. You didn't rob them. They give it to you because they're really excited about what they're getting. And then you get that wonderful energy exchange, and then you get to go and buy the things that bring you joy. And then those people who you gave the money to get to go and spend it on things that bring them joy. So it constantly creates more value. Like, this is the cool thing about commerce when we really look at it, is that money has exponential value. If you pay me $20 and then I go and spend that $20 with somebody else, and then they go and spend that $20 with somebody else, and so on and so forth, like, that $20 could have $100,000 worth of value for its lifetime, going through all of the people that hold it and spend it. How cool is that? And that money never really disappears. Like, if that bill got disintegrated or whatever, somebody takes it to the mint, gets it exchanged, and it's still technically the same $20 at the end of the day then, because that person didn't just lose $20, it just got replaced. Like, that's so cool. It has infinitesimal value. Wow. So we really need to change our relationship with money, with sales, with being comfortable marketing. Like, the truth is, and I say this often, and I know it can seem like an extreme example, but if you had the cure for cancer, nobody could buy it if they didn't know about it, right? Like, and we tend to discredit and devalue our own worth in the world, the things that we do in our businesses, because we find them easy. Like, they tend to be the gifts that come to us naturally, the things that we just naturally love and would probably do for free anyway. But your skill, your natural skill, is a 1 in 10,000 skill. And if you develop it, if you train and make it better and become really a true master of that skill, that could become a 1 in a million or a 1 in a billion skill. It can. But just at its base, the things that you find easy in life are 1 in 10,000. They've done studies on this. It's really cool. So we need to give ourselves more credit. And we're also helping, I know everybody says collapsing time, but I mean, we really are helping collapse time for people, because if I'm sharing with you the things I learned over the past, 9 years as an entrepreneur, I'm helping you bridge a 9-year gap. So you don't have to live 9 years to get the wisdom and experience that the internet tried to kick me, but it didn't succeed. But this is the thing, like, if you're paying forward this knowledge and wisdom you've picked up over a long period of time, or that you went out and spent, like, let's say you went and paid coaches and programs and you've spent $100,000 to attain the knowledge that you have, that's valuable. So it's absolutely worth somebody paying you $10,000 to get $100,000 worth of knowledge. Like, no brainer, right? So we need to start looking at it that way, and be really confident in your offers. Be really steadfast that you have value you bring into the world. It's fascinating, but self-worth is one of the biggest hindrances that people experience when it comes to life in general, but in business it really comes into play because we need to be promoting and selling and putting ourselves out there, and self-worth is the number one issue that we see people struggle with. And the truth is, you were born worthy. You were born worthy. You didn't have to do a damn thing. You came into this world worthy of abundance and joy and great relationships and a thriving business and all of it. You came into this world worthy of that. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You are worthy as you are. And that's something we have to come to terms with ourselves. And I know that can be difficult if you're a high achiever, which, hello, I'm a high achiever too. It's something I had to work through as well. I grew up, and when I was in school, they really pitted us to be better and do better and da 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 da. And I do think it's always important. Like, we need to raise the bar. It's one of the reasons we get coaches to kind of kick our asses and do a little bit more than we said we do, or personal trainers that are going to make you lift the heavier weight, or run a little bit longer, whatever it is. Like, we do need people to push us longer, because as humans, like, it's a very natural tendency that we're lazy. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. No judgment. I love Netflix and chill. It's life. But at the same point, it's really, really key. I think that we make sure that we're recognizing that we have this inherent worth that we bring to the table, just in our presence and our being. And we all have a purpose here. You're here in this lifetime to really experience, what you're here, whether you want to call it your, karma, your dharma, your soul purpose, whatever you want to call it. We're here for that. We're here to live it out, to have that experience, and to then share that wisdom. I really believe that we're all here. Human beings are natural teachers, and that doesn't mean, a teacher in a very old-fashioned sense of school teacher. Of course, some people are, but we're here to learn and to pass on our wisdom in some way, shape, or form, some formally and some informally. Sometimes you say something to somebody on the street and it changes their life. It's really cool. So anyways, I've kind of gone on a tangent here, but to round back to my initial point, your focus dictates everything. Your focus dictates absolutely everything. So if you would like a thriving business, if you'd like a business that feels really good, we need to start feeding that into your brain. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to utilize your brain the same way you would Google. So start asking better questions. That's what it comes down to. And start having better statements as well. So let's say you've had a bunch of shitty clients. And so your inner dialogue has been like, clients are a pain in the ass. Like, let's just say that's your inner dialogue. Well, a way to shift that, because we don't need to, lie to ourselves, but we do need to shift the conversation. You could ask the question, where are my awesome dream clients hanging out? And your brain will kick into gear, because as soon as you ask a question, your brain is like, I'm on it. I'm going to find that answer. Like, that's what it does. It's like, it does that, and it will pull out some answers for you to go and pursue, which is really cool. Your brain does that. And sometimes you ask the question, you don't get an immediate feedback. Like, it starts spitballing ideas, but until you have an answer that you act on, it will keep giving you ideas, which is really cool. So like a week from today, you might be like, holy shit, that's it. I got to go do this thing. And you do it, and that's cool. So just know that sometimes it's instant, sometimes it takes time. The question is still relevant and it's really powerful. So set it into motion, because you will get an answer. The other thing is, we can start to shift the conversation by looking at proof that it exists. So, if we're talking about, all clients are a pain in the ass to work with, then we need to go out and find proof of the opposite. And it doesn't mean it has to be your personal experience. It can be somebody else's experience. People who are talking about how they have a client that they love working with, or, they had a crying session at the end when they're, done working together, whatever it was, that made you go, yeah, there are good clients out there. There are great, client relationships out there, and I can have that too. So we start affirming those things, and we start putting your mind focusing on where you're headed, rather than trying to rehash where you're at. So one of the reasons in manifestation people get stuck is they keep focusing on present reality. But your present reality in the physical world is just a projection of your past thoughts. And that's a whole other conversation. Because that gets really deep when we get into quantum physics and all of that. But the takeaway is, truthfully, your thoughts create your reality. Yes, we do need to move through space and time in order to actualize it. But whatever you're focused on right now is where you're going, right? Like, if you plug a destination in a GPS, it's not going to take you somewhere else. It may reroute you to get there. How you get there, Who knows? Like, you may go on a route you didn't expect, but you will get to the destination, but you need to plug a destination in. Anyway, that's the takeaway for today. I hope that resonated and sat well as a good kind of kickoff to Monday. And guys, I would love to invite you to come and join us for Recession Proof Business. This is the first free course that I'm running in about a year and a half. So I'll drop the link for you. It's a 5-day, real great intensive on, how are we going to not only survive this recession, but thrive during it? How do you use this as an opportunity in your business to grow? And then on top of that, we are so excited coming up to the 3-year corporate anniversary for the founding of the Infinite Power of You Inc., which is so cool. So we are doing a really massive giveaway up to $33,333 in scholarships that we're giving away. So really, really cool. I'll drop the link for that as well. You can enter in to win anything you want on that list, everything you want on that list. Sky's the limit. Really give back and pay it forward is a really huge thing in our business. So thank you for all of the support over the years. I appreciate you all so, so much. And thank you for joining me on this live. If you've got any questions about sales, marketing, mindset, manifesting, money, drop them. I will get back to you. I'm always here to support you on your journey. It's an evolution, and it's something that we're all in together as entrepreneurs. I know sometimes it can feel very isolating as an entrepreneur, but you are not alone. You are loved. I see you. I see your posts. I see you showing up online. I see you showing up on this live. I see you taking in the information and utilizing it. And that's big. I know we don't get congratulated for that part, but we should, because that's the building base that we go from, all right? That's the foundation. That's a really big deal. So thank you for showing up. All right. I love you guys. Have a great Monday. Go kick some ass, and we'll talk soon. Bye.